Welcome to Black History with Mr. Dodson. For the entire month of February, I'll be highlighting a different African American or event who made an impact on today's society. Today, we'll be kicking things off with Cudjo Lewis and the Clotilda. Oluale Kossola, also known as Cudjo Lewis, was born around 1841 in what is now Benin in West Africa. He is one of the last survivors of the Clotilda, the last recorded slave ship to the United States, which arrived illegally in Mobile, Alabama on Sunday, July 8, 1860. Even though the United States banned the importation of enslaved Africans in 1808, the high demand for slave labor encouraged Alabama plantation workers like Timothy Mayer to risk illegal slave runs to Africa. Mayer took that risk on a bet that he could bring a shipload of Africans back across the ocean. Some of the transported 110 people enslaved were divided between William Foster and the Mayer brothers, while others were sold. Foster then ordered the Clotilda to be taken upstream, burned, and sunk to conceal evidence of their illegal activities. Once in Mobile, Kossola was enslaved by James Mayer, a wealthy ship captain and brother of Timothy Mayer, the man who organized the expedition. James was unable to pronounce Kossola's name, so the young man suggested his owner call him Cudjo, a West African name given to boys born on Mondays. In 1865, with the general emancipation, Cudjo regained his freedom and took the name Lewis. Like the rest of the survivors, Cudjo wanted to return home, but when they failed to raise enough money for the trip, they decided to stay in Alabama and create their own town. Because Timothy Mayer had been responsible for the whole ordeal, they decided to ask him for reparations in the form of free land. Cudjo was chosen as a spokesman. However, Mayer refused their demand, so they continued to plow wages they earned from selling vegetables and working in the fields and mills to purchase the land from the Mayer family, calling their new settlement Africa Town. They formed a society rooted in their beloved homeland, complete with a chief, system of laws, churches, and a school. Cudjo worked as a shingle maker and later became Africa Town's church sexton. By the early 1920s, all his companions from the Clotilda had passed away, leaving him as the only survivor. During the last years of his life, he achieved some fame when writers and journalists interviewed him and made his story known to the public. Cudjo Lewis died around the age of 94 in July of 1993. In May of 2019, researchers confirmed that the remains of the Clotilda, long rumored to exist but passed off as a legend for decades, had been found along the Mobile River near 12 Mile Island and just north of the Mobile Bay Delta. Dedicated to the stories of its passengers and Africa Town, in the spring of 2023, Africa Town will be opening the Africa Town Heritage House. This museum will bring together the voices of current Africa Town residents and historians from all over the country, displaying historical documents, images, and never-before-seen artifacts, along with first-person accounts from the Clotilda's landing to present day. And that's another influential person in American history.